Hey guys, Meteorologist Chris Tomer here with this afternoon mountain weather update. All right, snow continues in Colorado and also New Mexico. And again, this is the final storm system of what has been a very impressive storm cycle. But it will snow through tonight, and then that storm will be exiting tomorrow, and then the whole pattern's going to shift. But you can see the radar snow up and down the Front Range, I-25, snowing in the foothills, snowing right on top of the Continental Divide, all the way down into southern Colorado and into New Mexico. But again, that'll be pulling away. All right, here's what I'm seeing this afternoon. Latest data, latest trends. Again, this is the final storm system. Then the whole pattern's going to shift to the northern tier, and it's going to favor the Pacific Northwest, BC, Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming between 211 and 215. And we could rack up some pretty good totals, moderate to heavy accumulation. Then it's going to shift to the south, and right along this boundary, the subtropical jet is going to be part of this. It's going to blow in. It'll be fairly strong. We may even have a little bit of an atmospheric river component. Not totally sure about that yet, but it's a possibility. Between 216 and 220, the storm track will hit California, and then everything will, just like a conveyor belt, get moved into the interior. Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado, New Mexico, all beneficiaries between 216 and 220. And we could be looking at some very heavy accumulations, some impressive totals. Wait till you see they've gone up in this afternoon update from this morning's numbers. The Northeast also trending heavier on 213. The storm track has bounced just a little bit further north, and so that takes that heaviest snow band and places it a little bit closer and even directly over some of the major ski areas in Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. So hang on for that. That's also coming up. All right, let me take you back. I want to show you water vapor satellite imagery here this afternoon. Point out a few features. Here's our low in Colorado, New Mexico. That'll be exiting tomorrow. Then behind it, it's a little convoluted, but there's a storm there, another storm behind it, another one behind that. Not all of these will be part of this this pattern shift, but some of the energy will be part of this Pacific Northwest Northern Tier pattern, 211 through 215. Now, some of this energy on the backside will sit and kind of spiral and spin, and it will eventually get released with the subtropical jet and slam into California, 216 to 220, and be part of all of that pattern change, which will move through California, then the Intermountain West, 216 through 220. All right, let me show you the jet stream pattern. So that's the jet stream pattern by late tonight. Here's the pattern tomorrow. Everything shifts to the northern tier. Look at the jet running right across the northern tier in the Pacific Northwest and BC. So that's where everything's going to be focused. There's 215 still there. Now by 216, 217, that shifts. Now everything starts to move to the south. And you can see that powerful subtropical jet running in just like a conveyor belt of moisture. A couple of different storm systems hitting the west coast and then moving into the interior. And then there's 218, 219 close of day, same kind of thing. Pretty impressive pattern right here if it holds together. Let's put some moisture on this. So that's the situation at 5:30 today. Snow in Colorado, snow in New Mexico. But watch what happens. Storm moves away. Everything's gone by tomorrow. And then the pattern is all about the northern tier. You can see a little bit of that snow kind of brushing potentially the Wasatch and parts of Colorado at times, but most of it is aimed to the north. Wyoming, Montana. And here comes the shift. 216, look at that. Energy coming in, moisture being just riding that boundary. Here's 217. Here's the big move, 217 into 218. You've got that storm moving out of California into Utah, into Colorado, in the Four Corners essentially. And this is a pretty big slug of moisture. With jet support, orographics, we could be looking at some pretty deep totals here. There's another storm hitting California. You can almost see the spiral. And there it comes. 219 pushes some additional moisture in there. And once that storm gets organized and moves past California, we'll probably have another storm for the interior. 220, 221, 222, somewhere in there. Okay, let's look at the latest totals that I've got here. So rest of today through tomorrow. Some light additional accumulations in parts of Colorado and also New Mexico, but then you have to start to focus on the Pacific Northwest and BC. We could be looking at 2 to 6 inches up there through most of BC. Okay, then 212 to 214, emphasis is still there on BC, but also the northern tier. Looking at 8 to 12 through the Tetons, 4 to 8 across Montana, 3 to 6 up there in Idaho, and a little bit kind of dipping down, brushing the Wasatch and also the central and northern mountains of Colorado. All right, now this is a big period. 215 through 219. Now, most of what you see here in California, Utah, and Colorado happens after 216. 215, 216 in Wyoming. Big numbers there, 10 to maybe 15, 16 inches. But look at the numbers in the Wasatch. They've gone up. Now looking at 2 to 3 feet. The numbers in Colorado have all gone up. 1 to 2 feet of accumulation there. California has stayed pretty steady. A couple of feet of accumulation there. Anywhere you see purple is over a foot. So this could be an impressive pattern. And if we entrain some atmospheric river moisture, and I think that's what we might be looking at here, that could be pushing these totals higher. So there might be a little bit of accountability right now looking at these numbers for that, but we'll have to see what the contribution is. One more stop. Let's talk about the Northeast. Numbers have gone up. Now you're looking, again, anywhere in the purple shade is a foot or more. So what has happened is, since this morning, the storm track has shifted a little bit further to the north. That takes that heaviest snow band, and it's a little tighter circulation, a little deeper circulation as well. So that's going to lay down potentially a foot from Killington, maybe 2 feet in some of these places through Massachusetts, southern Vermont, southern New Hampshire, southern Maine, parts of New York, southern New York State. So the numbers have definitely trended up. And again, this is mainly on 213. End of day 212, throughout the day on 213. All right, guys, well, that's going to do it for this afternoon mountain weather update. Always appreciate you tuning in here, and take care.